So you're like unemployed and homeless, basically.
Are you kidding me? This is a lot to take in right now. He can make me laugh until I cry. Like, he's so funny, but then he's so sweet. It's one of the reasons I'm falling for him, even if he is jobless and homeless.
So are you cheating on me now? Because you know I like you a lot.
I mean, I like you a lot too. It's like I'm in a position though. It's like, do you see how it's hard for me?
So despite getting some seriously worrying news from Colt, Courtney has made up her mind and chosen her guy. But how's she gonna break that news to Usman? Well, before we get to that, let's rewind to the start and catch up with Colt.
After my surgery this past week, I got discharged from the hospital. I'm in Cancun, recovering in a hotel. Courtney has been coming over here every day, spending time with me, spending the night with me.
So the seriousness of his injury and operation means that while Colt was discharged from hospital, he hasn't been allowed to go back to the resort. Not that that matters, it seems. Like, why should he need to go back to the resort? The girl that he's interested in has been coming to see him. They've been spending a lot of time together, entire nights together, from what he tells us. Like, you've got to imagine that's way more time than they would have spent had this injury not happened. So, as a way of saying thank you to her, now that he's out of hospital, Colt has set up a cute little date for the two of them.
Even though I'm not physically at the retreat, I really want to leave here with Courtney.
With newfound confidence in a move that would no doubt impress the love coach that was trying to coach him at the start, Colt is now crystal clear on what he wants. But, of course, he just needs Courtney to be on board with that too. So, in a bid to finally win her over once and for all, Colt has bought flowers and he's also bought champagne. This, unlike Courtney's last date that she went on, seems to be a lot more promising.
My date with Usman did not go well. He told me he loved me, but I feel more of a connection with Colt.
Now, while Courtney might feel a connection with Colt, she's also well aware and she's worried about the fact that that connection might only be because of his injury. Like, could what she's feeling be some kind of guilt complex because what happened to Colt happened while he was leaving her room? Well, one way to try and work that out is to spend more time together outside of a hospital setting. And for Colt, this is a nice change. The guy hasn't been on a date in years.
But you would take your wife on dates?
Yeah, I would take my wife on dates when she wanted to go on dates.
Really?
Not very often. We grew apart, a lot over the years.
Now remember, Colt's last wife also was his best friend. He and Vanessa were friends long before they became lovers. So hearing the admission that that friendship turned so sour towards the end that they couldn't even bear to spend any time together, does really raise question marks about where it all went so drastically wrong. Unfortunately, we're never gonna know. But from what Colt tells us, Vanessa found someone else. She's moved on. And it was at that point, at a low in his life, that Colt found himself totally alone with nowhere to go or nowhere to live.
I don't really have what you would call a home. I got my car, at least.
Colt calls himself a nomad, someone without any roots, but Courtney has told us repeatedly that she's looking to find someone that can take care of her. She wants someone that can pay her bills. Hearing that the guy she likes doesn't have a home must be a shock. But it doesn't end there. It also gets worse. You see, former software developer Colt has also lost his job.
So you're like unemployed and homeless, basically.
Are you kidding me? This is a lot to take in right now.
Yeah, he's being honest, which is one thing. It's taken a while for him to be honest, but at least he is being honest. But at the same time, you can see why this is a lot for Courtney to take in. She, in fact, admits that it's, quote, raining red flags. But if there's a silver lining to be seen here, it's the fact that Colt wants to change. He wants to do better.
It's difficult, but I feel confident that I can figure out something. I want to learn from my mistakes and to move forward in my life.
That's great and all, right? But he's going to have to put in hard work to better his situation. That's not going to be easy, especially with a new injury. Like, it's not impossible by any means, but he's gonna have to have some follow through to actually get it done. Now, Colt, at least unlike Usman, is self-aware. He knows, right? He's fully aware that he's just dropped a heck of a lot of information on Courtney's head. Information that may well have just scared her away completely. But he knows it had to be done.
I feel very comfortable with Courtney and open, and so far I've been very, very transparent and honest with everything. So she needs to know the good, the bad, and the ugly about me for her to make the right decision.
Look, the ball is still in Courtney's court. I mean, she could technically still run away to Africa with Soulja Boy and make music together or something. I think that offer is still on the table, but the date isn't yet over, and Colt still has time to try and stop her from boarding the next flight. He knows he needs to make it up to her. So he decides to try and lighten the mood after all of this dark information by trying to draw Courtney.
Jack, I want you to draw me like one of your French girls.
Yeah, I mean, it worked for Leo in the Titanic, so it might work for Colt too. And considering the fact that he can't actually do much yet physically, this is pretty much all he can muster right now.
Why do you keep looking at my boobs?
What? I'm looking at your pendant.
Aww.
Is that like a teardrop?
Oh, my boob.
Well, now we can see some side boobs, so I appreciate that.
Like good.
They giggle their way through the drawing. They're both having fun. But in the end, it's pretty clear that Colt, if he had a day job, shouldn't be giving it up. His drawing is pretty terrible, but remarkably, Courtney seems to really like it. Now, the thing is, although she likes it, her reaction isn't quite what Colt was hoping for.
I'm gonna cry or throw up. I don't know. That's the nicest thing anybody's ever done for me.
What? Did she just say that's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for her? Gosh, if that really is the nicest thing she's ever received from a guy, then that's tragic. Now look, these two do really seem to get on. They have a lot of fun together. I mean, Courtney's laughing so hard that she's almost in tears. So while they might not have been able to go on fun adventures like they would have been able to had they been at the resort, I don't think anyone can doubt that they have got to know each other very well. Like, both of them they realise just how much they do click with one another.
He can make me laugh until I cry. Like, he's so funny, but then he's so sweet. It's one of the reasons I'm falling for him, even if he is jobless and homeless.
That feels like a big moment for Courtney, doesn't it? Her superficial requests that any man has to look after her have just been put into stark focus. She realises that actually getting on with someone is a lot more important. Like, here she is on TV, actually admitting that not only is she falling for Colt, but she's doing it eyes wide open, fully aware that he's unemployed and homeless. Yeah, I mean, it is a big deal. But she hasn't chosen him yet. If she does go on to choose him, knowing full well how little he has at the moment, then I think they have a very real connection. It must be real, right? So with that in mind, Courtney asks Cole, what are your plans for after filming ends?
Are you going to extend in Mexico for a little bit, or what?
At least until I can fly again, so maybe an extra week or two.
I'd be willing to stay longer in Mexico to help you out if you want.
That, you've got to say, is incredibly kind. The fact that Courtney doesn't want to leave Colt in Mexico by himself shows that she definitely cares about him a lot. Like, this is a true friend, if nothing else, right? And for that, Colt is genuinely grateful. Now, while they end the date all cuddled up together, eventually, Courtney does need to return back to the resort. She needs to take care of unfinished business.
I have my eyes on Courtney since day one, but I am worried that she is leaving me over Colt. I don't want to give up on her just yet.
So back at the resort, Usman has been waiting around for Courtney. He's fully aware of just how much time she's been spending with Colt. But I think what's keeping him going, what's keeping him with his head buried in the sand, is the fact that he's still clinging on to hope that she might be fueled only by pity for Colt. So later on that evening at the resort party, it's finally time to get some answers.
I don't like this, you know, because it's like I really like you, but then it's not fair because I didn't expect the whole thing with Colt going to the hospital, and then I feel like I've just been focused on his healing and his well-being.
Look, there's no other way to say this, right? Courtney is rambling here. She needs to just pull off the band-aid and deal with the consequences. It's gonna hurt, but it needs to be done. What she's currently doing to Usman, right, stringing him along, telling him that she likes him, isn't fair to him. Like, pretending somehow that she's only thinking of Colt's well-being is a cop-out. She's admitted as much. She's told us that she's falling for Colt. So just be honest. Now, thankfully, Usman doesn't need her to spell it out any further. He can finally see the writing on the wall. He's got the memo. Although she doesn't clearly say that she's breaking things off with him, Usman does understand that that's what's just happened.
So are you cheating over me now? Because you know I like you a lot.
I mean, I like you a lot too. It's like I'm in a position though. It's like, do you see how it's hard for me?
Again, Courtney, stop using Colt as your cop-out here. Just be honest. Stop blaming Colt's situation for why you can't tell Usman you don't want to be with him. Now, she goes on to say to Usman that because the resort is soon coming to an end, she doesn't want to hold him back from going out and finding someone new. Use your time here to meet new people, she says to him. And that seems to strike a chord with Usman. You see, he admits that he's actually been spending most of his time alone in his room while Courtney has been out visiting Colt. Now, for what it's worth, Usman doesn't seem angry about how this has all panned out. It seems almost as if he knew that this was coming.
I was waiting for this because I already understand that the commitment you're giving already tell me the exact answer. I was waiting and
I feel like you're gonna make me cry.
Yeah, it's been very obvious for everyone to see, hasn't it? Courtney has been way too committed to Colt for her feelings only to be friendship. Even Usman, with his comical attempt to convince us that he loves her, even he can see that that's the case. Now, thankfully, both of them know that this is probably for the best, but that doesn't make it any less painful. Both of them seem that they're both acting like they're a bit heartbroken by this.
I feel like sad, like I feel we're going through a breakup or something. It's like I don't want that to happen, but I don't really know like what to do.
Courtney, it's pretty simple really, isn't it? Don't make this harder than it needs to be. If your gut instinct tells you to go for a guy that you actually get on with, a guy that you can sit around talking to for hours on end and laughing until you cry, then surely it's not all that difficult. Like, how hard can it really be to be choosing him over the guy that you went on vacation with, who then ghosted you? the guy that pretended he didn't even know you when the resort started. Come on, I mean, both of you, get a grip. You are both going to be okay.
it's fine. It's fine. It's okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Now, just to be clear here, right, in case there's anyone at all who is under the misconception that Usman is genuinely heartbroken, he's not, okay? This is just a bruised ego. Surely no one's falling for it. Like, this isn't Usman being heartbroken. This is the fact that Usman can't stand being left for Colt. But he's trying to drag this out for as much as he can. He's trying to milk as much sympathy as possible.
But to hear that she's picking him over me right now, it's really hard. I feel heartbroken, but I've never experienced this in my life.
Karma, Usman is a bitch. These things have a habit of working themselves out. The way you treat others does have an impact on your life. If you treat people well, you'll be treated well. But if you go on TV and try and scam a green card out of older women that you pretend to love, well, guess what? It's gonna come back and bite you in the arse. So the only question now is, how fast do we think Usman is gonna move on? Surely he can't find another victim before the resort ends, can he?